All right, here we are at in Huntington Beach for anybody that may be on here early. I think we have one person right now already early. I just wanted to make sure and check the mic. So if somebody could go ahead into the chat roll and let me know whether or not you can hear my voice. I had to change mics. The other two mics I brought apparently aren't working. So, of course, we are going to test this mic to make sure it's working, and then we're going to get started. Let's see. Oh, hello. Back on again. Awesomeness. All right. If somebody could just go ahead and type into the says that it's on. Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. All right. The mic is working. Awesome. Thank you. All right. We're going to be playing another video here as people are coming into the video. And as you come into the video, for those of you that are on right now, if you could just go ahead and let us know where you're from, where you're watching from, that would be great. And if you have a dog, if you plan on using the essential oils for your dog and yourself, that would be great to know also. We're going to have a lot of information for you. We got a couple people here. We have a surprise video visitor. His name is Bo. You're going to have to figure out who Bo is, but Bo's going to be a secret super visitor that we're going to bring in a little bit later on. You're going to really enjoy the visit from that secret guest. So what else do we have for you? We may be giving away a car. Oh, no, we're not. The car is not. No, I'm sorry. We were going to give away the car. Apparently, the sponsor decided to bail out. So maybe on the next webinar, we'll give away the car. Maybe we have like a Hot Wheel or something like that. I can grab one of my son's Hot Wheel and send it to you. But again, as you are logging on, we see a few people coming into the video now. Just go ahead and type into the chat roll. That way we just know that everything's working. If you're having problem with the video or being, hello, Cliff. Nice to see you. Jan, Tiffany. Oh, is that Everett? Everett, is that your other name? Carlene, nice. I'm glad to see Carlene on the webcast. Awesome. All right. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something very, very important, but we're going to come back to that. But, I was going to say, if you're having a problem with the video, if we freeze up, if the sound goes away or something like that, just go ahead and just click on the refresh button. It'll refresh, come back around, and everything should go back to working. Remember that we're not in charge of the internet, that's obviously Al Gore's issue. He's the one who took care of this. So that's probably why it's not working. Hello, John. Glad to have John Frankie. John Frankie. Nice. Where are you from, John? Where are you from, Lloyd? Let us know where you are viewing this from. That would be really great just to know how far our reach is and where it is that you're watching from. We're going to have some polls that we're going to post up in just a little bit. So make sure and look for those polls so we can find Hello, here we are at Soul to Skin Rejuvenation. I seem to get that backwards for some reason. I don't know why. So it's Soul to Skin, right? So it's our soul to our skin rejuvenation in Huntington Beach, California. We are live. This is the Healthy Dog Network's very first live webcast, and I'm so happy. Where's the applause? Yay, our large group that we have here. First, what I want to do is just kind of tell you, you heard on the video about what the Healthy Dog Network is all about. It's about, really taking care of dogs from their minds to their bodies to their bowls, because they don't get a choice. They get either rescued by us, or they get purchased by us, or somebody just drops one off at our front porch. And then really it's all up to us. The dog can't sit there and say, hey, I really would feel like In-N-Out Burger tonight, or I feel like chicken Parmesan. The dog does not get a choice. And so we have to make sure that we're making good choices for our dogs. And it's really hard to go on the internet and really look things up, because you really don't know if it's biased based on whoever did the study. So if just we'll use science diet for an example, just if they did all the studies, it's really hard to understand or know for sure whether it's been slanted one way or another. Not that it has been, but whether it is or not, we really don't know. So what I want to do with the Healthy Dog Network and all of our partners is really dig deep and find out what the truth is, the best that we possibly can. We really look at some studies, really interview a lot of people in the industry, and find the truth somewhere in the middle, so that we can make sure that we're making healthy choices for our dogs. Again, they don't get a choice of what bed to sleep on, what food they get fed, what treats they get, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. I think a great place for us to start is the essential oils, because I think there's the only thing that can happen is good. When you see the video that just ran about with me and my daughter, there you saw a little snippet that you're going to see in just a little bit of the opportunity to put the oils on the dog. Is another opportunity just to spend time with your dog, to bond with your dog, to pet your dog, to check their pads, to really look on their skin for any kind of growths and that kind of stuff, so that we can really find out if there's something we need to take the dog to the vet for before it becomes a really big issue. So all these things are really important, and we're going to talk about all those things. First of all, I know that there's some of you on there. Let me pull up the chat again just to find out where people are from. And there's a lot of names on there that I don't recognize. So I think it's just important that I let you know who I am and why you should even care what I have to say. I've been in the dog business for about 30 years. I'm a former police officer of the city of Anaheim, and I was a canine handler there, and that's where I found my passion. After being a canine handler, I became the trainer for the police department. The city sent me all over the world to learn how to train dogs, because we really didn't believe we were getting the best training we can get. There were a lot of harsh methods being used. I will tell you probably more about those in another live webinar, but it can be pretty bad in regard to what we were using to train the dogs at that time. So what I found is that dogs work a heck of a lot better out of motivation than they do out of fear. And basically that's what the first system I was trained was doing to the dogs, teaching them to train and to work out of fear. When a dog is trained out of motivation, it's amazing what they will do for you. They will jump over higher walls, they will run faster, and they will search in the dark and protect you. As a matter of fact, my dog saved my life. From an armed gunman that was hiding behind a door. I never would have known he was there. He's the purpose and the reason that I'm here today on this live webinar. And I think I owe it to him to make sure that we're taking care of all the dogs in the world. I own Falco Canine Academy, which my buddy Everett will put the website address up there in just a little bit. If you go to our website, you'll know that we do have a membership site. So if you're not in Orange County, California, and you want to be a part of our training and find out what it is we do to train, we have a membership site that you can just click on. I've kept it at a very low price for these live webinars, so that if you choose to go there, you can do that very inexpensively. We also have a lot of videos on YouTube. We have, of course, a Facebook page, and we just want to stay connected to you. And now we have the Healthy Dog Network, which I hope will just grow and grow and grow. Upcoming in, I think it's about 2 weeks, we have Super Zoo, where we're going to go out and look at some more vendors, some more products. Every year that I go to Super Zoo in Las Vegas, there's a lot more products and a lot more dog foods. They're putting different formulas in now. We have everything from bison to rabbit to what else have I seen out there? We've had deer. There's all kinds of foods out there now. And so we really got to go out there and really talk to these people live to find out why they think their dog food is the best for our dog. So we're going to be doing that in a couple weeks. There's, of course, all kinds of supplements that you can put in your dog food. There's all kinds of treats and toys and beds and collars and bling bling, all kinds of stuff over there. So we're going to go over there. And so look for our live broadcast coming from the Super Zoo in Las Vegas. All right. So if let's see who else is on here. I'm going to look and see if you guys could type into where you're from. We got Fullerton. Oh, Washington, D.C. That's a good one. I'll take that one. Westminster with 2 boxers. Westminster. That's Kathy. Cliff in Fullerton. Lloyd in Washington, D.C. John in Yorba Linda. Great. Where else we got here? San Diego. Awesome. That's one of my favorite places. It seems that I'm there all the time. All right. Well, Everett, if you would go ahead and run the video in regard to the Healthy Dog Network, we will then bring on our first guest and we'll start telling you about essential oils. So there's a little bit of a delay. So I was trying to figure out what I would do during this delay until the video plays. So if it cuts me off, it's just because I'm vamping. I could tell a joke like, how do you make a handkerchief dance? You put a little boogie in it. Come on. Come on, video start. I'm going to tell another joke. I had a dog with no legs. Walking him was a real drag. All right, that's not for everybody. Come on, video. I gotta find another joke. Carlene, help me out. Send me a joke. Hurry up and chat so I can tell a good joke. It should be playing any. Hello, here we are. We are back at Soul to Skin Rejuvenation. Wow, I said that without even a hiccup, hardly. And I'm with Shemaine. I don't know why I have such trouble with that. There's not a lot of Shemaines out there, and my mouth just does not want to do Shemaine. Shemaine Armstrong from who's one of the co-owners, right, of Soul to Skin Rejuvenation. Wow, this is going to be a long day. I think I even messed that up in our introduction video that I created too. So Shemaine, why don't you let me know about how you started the business, where this idea even came from?
About 14 years ago, my son was about 2 years old, kept getting ear infections, and antibiotics just wasn't doing anything. Too many antibiotics. So I started looking at essential oils onto healing his earaches, and if it happened, it fixed it and never got him again. It wasn't even like, oh, I got another infection to deal with. It never had another one after he did a round of essential oils. And so I started using them more often on my children. I have 4 kids, and they help with everything from a fever to just stomach discomforts to all kinds of things. When things get too far along, I do take them to a doctor, but for the most part, the essential oils keep a lot of things in check without having to do that.
So that's a good point to bring up, that the essential oils aren't taking the place of medicine necessarily, or visiting a doctor.
Correct.
All right. So I want to go back to the ear infection thing, because I know I have neighbors down the street that all their children have to wear guards and this helmet thing that they put on their head before they go swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Do you give it to them before they go swimming, after they go swimming? How does that all work?
Well, for the infection itself, at the time I used oregano oil, which is an antiviral, antibacterial oil. And it's kind of almost like having an antibiotic in your body. You actually ingest it. Well, I had him ingest it with soda. And it helps kill that virus, that bacteria that's growing. There's other oils you can use after, getting out of the pool. And a lot of times people say you could put a little bit of alcohol to dry it up. The same thing. There's oils you can use. Same with dogs. Dogs seem to have a problem always getting ear infections. It's pretty much the same formula you use on an animal, you can use on an adult or child, and vice versa. So there's all kinds of different ways to go about it. But that was the reason I did it, because they said he was going to need tubes, and there was no way I was going to have tubes.
Oh, so you avoided the tubes entirely?
Entirely.
That's outstanding. All right. So you started using these oils. It started to make a difference. How long ago was that?
That was 14 years ago. He's 15 now. He's never had another ear infection.
So now, how long did it take before you decided to open up the business?
Another 14 years. No. Like I said, I have 4 kids. So yeah, it was Sally, my partner, and I. We opened 6 months ago. And I think about 6 months before that, we decided to do it. And we just kind of took the ball and ran with it. So we're very happy with it.
And we're here in Huntington Beach. What's the address?
5075 Warner Avenue, Suite 203. 5075 Warner Avenue, Suite 203. Come visit us.
All right. And you have more than just the essential oils here in your store. You do other stuff. What else do you do?
We have an acupuncturist, which she's incredible. She also specializes in infertility and Chinese medicine. So she's wonderful. We also have products made with our essential oils. We do facials, and I also do chakra balancing and vibrational medicine. And we have all kinds of great products that can be used for all kinds of ailments, or for pleasure, for fun, for all kinds of things.
I won't say anything about the pleasure. The chakra, huh? I don't. What is a chakra? Do I have that in my pocket? What's a chakra?
Hopefully you don't have it in your pocket. They're your energy fields. Oh. So we have the 7 major energy fields, and those energies need to be happy and to make us happy, to keep us successful and happy.
All right. Well, then I must have a pretty large chakra. All right. So what I do want to bring up with that question and that comment is to the people that are watching, because I told people to watch whether you believe that these oils helped or not. There is an aspect that I know that I felt when I first heard about the oils and the other stuff you're doing here, that there's some type of it's all in your head. It's some type of voodoo or something like that. What do you speak to that response from people?
Try them. I think you actually got a little dose of it. We have a major pain balm, and it's essential oils. And Andy tried it and within the 30 minutes, the pain was starting to go away. And by the time I think you left here, it was gone. And it's kind of just try. I mean, they don't hurt you. So it's not like you're going to do anything detrimental to yourself. Just, have an open mind and try it. And I think that a lot of people have been pleasantly surprised by what the oils can do, from everything from a pain medication to just even uplifting your mood, or taking away those hot flashes, or, calming a child, sleep. We have some great oils for sleeping. So then all of them, I was talking to my Sally yesterday, is it's great because it goes from 2 legs to 4 legs. All the oils are intertwined and I think that's what's kind of cool about our oils, is you can't try flea medicine to see if it works, can you? No. Can you take a pain medicine and see if it works for your dog? And they can't talk to you. So our oils, you actually can use on yourself, just like the pain medicine you used, and turn around and use it on your dog, knowing it works, knowing that he's going to have that relief. And so that's what's kind of great about the essential oils, that they do help not just the 2 legs, but the 4 legs.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the other day when I was here, Sally put some of the oils on my shoulder, which I have those of you that do know me know that my shoulders are very painful. And I've tried bracelets, and those can work from time to time. And everybody just tells me I have to have surgery, but she put the oils on there. I went back to doing what I was doing, which was testing the internet connection, some other stuff, and really wasn't even thinking about the oils. And then she asked me, "How's your shoulder feel?" And it was completely pain-free. And that is no bull. I'm not making anything up. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. I'm literally pain-free over the last couple of days, because now I don't stop putting the oils on my shoulder about every couple hours or so, and it just simply works.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say, because I did come in here a little bit skeptical about whether it was going to work or not.
And what's great is it took the pain away, but at the same time, it's going to help heal. The oils will work with our cellular makeup to start healing whatever that might be. It could be the tension, it could be a torn muscle, whatever it is. Those oils get in and cellularly connect and start healing. So unlike an Advil or anything else, that just covers up the pain, covers up the problem. Our essential oils actually get in and start helping with those problems.
Okay, so where do these oils come from? I mean, and how long have they been around? And where do the oils come from? Are they manufactured in some type of chemist laboratory, or do we get them by squeezing some type of fruit? Where do the oils come from?
Well, essential oils have been around for, I want to almost say forever, because they go back to biblical, they go back beyond that. The Egyptians have been using it. They've talked about them being in the tombs, to just in general. Before pharmaceuticals came along, essential oils were actually, the old snake oils and all those other fun things in the wagon that used to crawl around. Well, pretty much that's what they were. And so they've been around quite some time, and they are manufactured kind of all over the world, wherever they're best grown. And they're extracted usually by a cold press, and not made in my bathtub or anything like that. So yeah, they come from all over the place, wherever they're best grown, like lavender from Washington and things like that.
Okay, so not that anybody, I'm hoping, is going to go into the manufacturing business, but if somebody were to look for the oils, is there some type of organization that posts like a little warning on there? I mean, how do they know that they're really getting the oil and not something else? Is there anything that guards people against any kind of fraud?
Yeah, no. I mean, the essential oils, you kind of pay for what you get. So if you go to the market and you buy, pretty inexpensive oil, most likely you're not getting a full thing of pure essential oil. You're getting fillers or synthetic oils that have been made, and those will not do the same. There's a plant-based cellular is what you need. And so the higher qualities, obviously you're going to have to pay for that higher quality. We carry our doTERRA line, we carry our own line, and both of them are very high quality and pure essential oils. So you get what you pay for.
So at least if they're going through your website to get the oils, they know that you've gone through all the homework and you're using good quality sources for your oil. All right, I got a question from Sammy, and I guess that's a girl spelling. Is that a girl spelling? S-A-M-M-I? I hope, and I'm sorry if you're a dude. I'm new to essential oils and trying to read as much as possible. I have read in several books, including one from a holistic vet who works with essential oils, say that certain oils are toxic to dogs. Can you speak to those? Is that a good question for you or Sally?
Probably more with Sally. She really works with the animals. We will be having on our website a pet corner, and we are going to list the ones that should not be used on dogs. They are some toxic ones, along with some of the there's essential oils we shouldn't also ingest because of the toxicity. But yeah, Sally would be better for that answer.
Okay, so that's interesting. You say there's some that the humans shouldn't use either, and so
ingesting wise, exactly, and even some topically, like oregano is a very hot oil, so you want to always add that with a coconut or another oil to put on your skin, because it will feel like it's burning and will burn. So there are certain ones, and it is good to research the essential oils. I mean, especially if you are going to use them, to know how to use them and where to use them.
Okay, is Crisco an essential oil?
Well, in my book, it is.
All right. Lloyd asked, I have arthritis and carpal tunnel syndrome in both arms. Is there an essential oil that's specific for that? Probably that super duper pain balm that I.
Pain balm will definitely help, but lemongrass, as simple as it is, lemongrass is a wonderful for carpal tunnel and inflammation. It takes down the inflammation throughout the tendons. Just rubbing that right in the area of that carpal tunnel, you'd be amazed of the relief, and you continue to do that because it will help start healing those tendons.
I'm getting that from a lot of computer work that I do with the mouse. I can feel on the pad of the Mac that I really get sore by the end of the day. So I might need to keep some of that around.
Lemongrass, yep.
Lemongrass. I've had lemongrass drinks, right? Don't you?
Or a little lemongrass. Lemongrass smells wonderful. It's great to even diffuse in the. It's great to diffuse in the room because it smells so wonderful. But yeah, it's a great. It helps with inflammation. If you have swollen ankles, any of that, it really helps.
All right. So where does the name Shemaine come from?
It's an old Spanish name. It actually comes from the history of El Cid. He married Shemaine.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to read up on that. I have to Google that. Out the Wikipedia. All right. Well, what I would like you guys to do is to continue to ask the questions. I'm going to try to get to as many as possible. We're going to take a little break with the video here. We're going to bring Sally back out, or now Sally out for the first time, and talk to her about the work she's doing with the dogs and essential oils. And then after that, we're going to answer some more questions as a group. So there really is not necessarily an end time. We will end in time to open up this bottle of wine that we have over here, but we are going to just take a couple breaks and make sure and try to get to as many people's questions as we can. And so Everett, if you go ahead and run the video of Vivi Ray and I talking about putting the oils on the dogs, that would be great. And in the meantime, do you have any jokes while we're waiting? Because there is a delay.
I don't have blonde jokes.
Okay, give me one. I love blonde jokes.
There he is. There it is.
Well, all right. Well, I have a couple blonde ones, but I really probably shouldn't say them on this live cast. But it will be running soon. I hope you guys like this vamping part because it's really Hello, we're back. Sorry, I was reading the questions. You guys have some great questions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on Sally over here so that she can begin to answer some of these questions. Sally is a great friend of mine, Sally Frost. She is formerly one of my trainers. Sad. I wish she would come back, but she's way too busy with this oil stuff, apparently. And we're going to ask her some very tough questions. You guys got some really good questions that I think a lot of people need help with. I know that when on the training field at our academy, we have people that have some of the same issues that are being brought up here. So Sally Frost, how the heck are you?
I'm great, Andy. Thank you. It's so good to see you. I told him earlier that I never thought I would see his truck in my parking lot. I'm just so excited.
I don't understand why.
I know. Well, I'm just thank you very much for inviting us here today.
You're very welcome. You guys are doing some great work here, especially when you fixed my shoulder. When that happened, I was sold. I couldn't get my equipment fast enough to get it over here. But let's first talk about how did you hook up with this young lady over here and get this business started?
Well, Shemaine and I have been friends because she has 4 children. I too have 5. And so, you know, we have about the same amount of kids, and we met at school. So we were the moms on the soccer field. We're the moms out on the field as we watched our kids go into class. So Shemaine and I have been friends for over 12 years. And so she's always done holistic things. She's always giving me ideas on different things to use. Why don't you try this? When one of my kids was having some acne issues, she said, try some apple cider vinegar. And I thought, oh, really? And it actually worked. So her and I have been friends for many years, and she's always been helping me with kind of not always having to go to the doctor. I always tell people never give up Western medicine. It's there for a reason. But if you can get yourself to where you're not having to go as often or do some preventative measures, these essential oils are fantastic to do that.
So were there some things that happened in your life that brought in the essential, not besides the apple vinegar, because you probably take a bath in the apple vinegar now, but what essential oils did you find work for some of the things that you found in your household?
In my household, one of my daughters, she's just throughout elementary school, she always was ill. I mean, if somebody had a cold 3 miles down the road, that child would get it. So when I found some of the oils that we use now, because we carry a couple, we have our own, we carry some others, I would use that, put it on the bottom of her feet. I would diffuse. I am a big diffuser. Some of the protective.
What is diffuser mean?
Diffuser is, I have one right here, where you put water. You just add water to it. You add your essential oils, and it emits just a fine mist.
So while they're sleeping?
While they're sleeping, during the day. Just recently, I used my diffusers for 4th of July with my dogs. I know we're going to get to that. But lavender is wonderful. But for a protective blend, I used in my daughter's room. And it kind of helped with the colds. And if she did get a cold, it didn't last as long. And we've gone now 8 months without having any kind of an illness. And we have been fighting it. So I'm excited about that. So I've been using them. Shemaine always is bringing something over, or giving me ideas to use with my kids.
So my daughter has allergies. And always seems to have a runny nose and all this kind of stuff. Is there something that can help even a child with allergies?
A child with allergies. One of the best and easiest ones are using lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And you can just use 1 or 2 drops in, mix it in honey, and just have them drink it or eat it. And it will eventually help with those, with the allergies, the sneezing, the runny nose. Also, what's good is to diffuse it. Like I said, I'm a big diffuser. I'm always diffusing something in my home.
I know we're here to talk about dogs, but I'm just so amazed by this stuff. And I don't know why that I've never even, I think I've heard of it, but I just don't think I ever took it seriously. And there's just, this seems to be so many uses for it that I can see in our house. And it doesn't hurt to give it a shot first. I mean, as long as it doesn't require surgery or something like that or emergency, there's no harm in just giving it a shot. All right, so we're gonna get to the dogs.
Okay,
So
great.
how did now you start to kind of learn about what you're gonna do with dogs, because you now mix your own formulas, which you find more effective, and that's what you put on my shoulder.
That's right. Actually, the one that I used on his shoulder, I actually developed for my dog.
No wonder it worked.
Yeah, it worked. But I started, it all happened kind of by accident. I diffused for me. I'm getting older now, but I diffuse for me peppermint and lavender at night, and it really helps with my hot flashes at night. And I was just using those two things, and my dogs sleep in my room. And what I noticed is one of my dogs has some allergy issues. And I noticed that she stopped scratching, and I still didn't put two and two together. I actually had someone else say, Sally, don't you use essential oils? Why don't you look up and see if you can use them with dogs or what the effects are with dogs? And that's kind of what got me started. And her allergies have really subsided. And I had gone to the vet, and I always recommend, please, I am not a veterinarian. I'm only sharing what happens, what the results that I have when I use it on my dogs. I give it to other dogs. Our visitor today isn't one of my dogs, but I also have some other clients that come in specifically for stomach issues with their dogs.
Wow. Well, we actually are going to have a vet, I think, at some point that you recommend that does acupuncture and essential oils.
Yes,
So
she does. It's wonderful. I'm actually meeting with her next Tuesday. My dog has an appointment.
all right. You know, I'm getting a signal over here that my mic is scratchy. We may have to change some of the batteries, but this actually is a good time because we're bringing our special guest. You kind of gave it away.
I did. Sorry.
We're going to bring it.
So wonderful.
All right, we're going to bring in our special guest. We're going to go to a video that's going to go ahead and play in just a second. And it's a video about Falco Canine Academy and shows some of our training. Hopefully you can hear me when I'm saying this. Just enjoy. It's a lot of the police dog training. It's how I got started. And I actually started on the police side of things and then went into the pet side of things. So you're going to see me get bit by a dog. I'll get chased by a dog. And I think my arm falls off at one point. So you should find it fairly interesting. So go ahead, Everett, and run that while I try to figure out why it's so scratchy. I had my hand here on the transmitter, so I took it off. Hopefully, I was hoping that would fix it. But that's the problem with technology. Not everything all works at the Oh, my head's cut off. We have to go to one knee. There we go. Hey guys, I hope this is better. I changed the batteries in the system here, so we're hoping. Well, this is Bo. This is our special guest that I was talking about. He obviously is a Newfoundland. I should add you actually guess what it was. Everett, actually, can you also run the a couple of the polls that while we're doing this? They can answer that while we're talking to them about this kind of stuff here. But Bo is in Newfoundland, and he was rescued from where?
The Newfoundland Club of Southern California. He was relinquished, and my friend Melanie went ahead and fostered him. And much like anytime you bring a Newfoundland into your home, most of the time you become a failure, a foster failure, because they're just beautiful, lovely, sweet-hearted dogs.
So you're saying you're no longer a foster, you become a forever home.
That is correct. And that's what happened with me and mine. When that's how I met Andy, was with my Molly.
So go ahead and have Bo sit back up again. We'll see how big Bo is here.
Good.
Nice. So you can see the size of this dog is pretty big. I do want to address a couple of the questions that came across earlier that were mentioned. Is he looking for mom? Mom can come out if she wants to. But somebody, I think it was Lloyd. I want to say it was Lloyd. I don't know for sure. But Lloyd was asking about giving the dogs the oils internally. Having them.
So I wouldn't recommend giving them internally because yes. Oh, he wants me down here too. Okay, so I wouldn't take them internally for a dog because again, a dog can't talk to you. He can't tell you that, I'm not feeling well after taking that specific oil, whatever it is that you're wanting to give them. Because when you're using oils on dogs, if you're using them every day, it really should be 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. And a lot of this, just the information that I have is the me going on and reading books and going onto websites and reading what they're doing in the dog world, in the canine aromatherapy.
Okay. What are some of the things we're going to do with Bo? You're going to demonstrate applying.
First, there was someone who asked a question about earaches. And, earaches usually, a lot of them are allergies or the yeast that comes up. And so something that's really it's preventative. And this is what I do twice a week. And it's the blue and the cotton swabs. So what I do is I use, again, like I said, we have our own line of oils. And the reason we have them is because of the dogs. I've gone out and you have to be very careful when you're using oils. And I also use doTERRA products because those two, obviously I'm going to say mine's really good too. I mean, it's great. But actually, when we were looking at them, we want to make sure that we didn't use those pure, we didn't lose those pure properties. So for a dog, what I do is I take the cotton rolls and I just, I'll mix it in a cup, or you can just do it right on here. But I do a couple drops of geranium, a couple drops of, now I'm not yelling, a couple drops of basil. And always when you're using any kind of essential oil, you want to dilute it with fractionated coconut oil or any coconut oil, or you can use olive oil.
Okay, let's slow down one more time because it was my fault. I had the mic pulled away from your mouth, so we might not have caught all that stuff. But for people that are taking notes or something, can you just repeat the process and the mixture? And we're talking about for just the ear infection right now.
This is for an ear infection, and I do this twice a week. And it maintains and it also helps if there is an ear infection, because I think that if you ask any veterinarian, because I asked mine, and if you continually use antibiotics in an ear, it can damage their eardrum. So that's why my dog gets them all the time. So this is what I started doing to help find the preventative way, and it's working. So I just use any kind of round cotton ball, and I use our sweet basil, and I use doTERRA's geranium. and I will mix a couple drops, only two of each, and then I dilute it with some fractionated coconut oil. And I put enough in the fractionated coconut oil that I can just kind of scoop it up in here and get it a little saturated. I'm going to go into the ear, never stick it all the way down into the eardrum. So I just wipe it. I just go in there and I wipe it and I just clean it. And, you know, most dogs, my dog, they just love it. They love it when you're touching them. Dogs love your human touch. And then I repeat the process for the other side. And I do that twice a week.
Okay, so you don't want to take a Q-tip and stick it down in there.
Never. Just like you treat your dogs just like your children. You know, you never want to stick a Q-tip down your a child's eardrum. So that's we do that with dogs, right?
Oops. No wonder they're getting ear infections. All right,
And-
so just the outside. Does the oil then just kind of go down into the ear canal, or is it the vapors? Or I'm such a novice. I have no idea how this all works.
No, you know, it's funny. I had a lot of those questions when I was starting. You know, it actually will go into their bloodstream and it's cellular and it does. It's vapors that travel down. And so you have the oil and it will seep a little bit down in there and it will help with the yeast buildup that gives those ear infections.
Okay, so you had a few more things you wanted to talk about with the dog and some of those other oils that you got there.
I do. Now, our most famous oil that everybody talks about is the Major Pain Balm. And actually, we sell these in 1 ounce, 2 ounces. I actually made a great big one so you guys could see it here on the screen. I wasn't sure you were going to be able to see it. And it's just... Probably not. I needed a 1 gallon jug. And for dogs, again, always when you're using the oils, please be safe, be thoughtful when you're using them. You want to make sure that you use them diluted. So this is the Major Pain Balm, and you're just going to want to put a couple drops. I use probably 4 drops. And you know what? Sometimes you want to see if your dog is going to react to it. They might tell you, you know, ooh, I don't like that. When I first made the pain balm and brought it home, my dog literally put his head under the pillow. And I thought, oh, maybe that's too strong. So that's when I started diluting it even more, because we all know that a dog's, you know, their senses are amazing. That's 100 times what we smelled. You know, they smell so much more. So I would take that oil and I would just kind of separate. He has a lot of hair, and I would just massage it onto the area that might be hurting him. Bo just got done with some water rescue the other day, so he's a little sore because he worked really, really hard. He was jumping off boats, and when you do that, you know, they land, and he seems to be accepting this very, very well.
So I found it interesting the other day we were talking that I was thinking you had to actually get down onto the skin of the dog. You don't need to.
No, you don't need to. You want to get as close as possible, but if you don't, it's okay, because it's going to grab. It actually travels down the hair shaft and gets into their bloodstream through the bulb of the hair, and it then marries just like it does you and I with the cells.
Wow. That's incredible. I know there's a lot of people that you know, wish they had a dog that would sit still long enough to do this kind of thing.
And that's where you come into play.
If your dog won't stay still, you call Falco Canine Academy. We then train your dog, and then we fix
To do
things.
this.
So what else you got?
Okay, so in between, anytime that we have, I have lavender spray. So in between groomings, anytime that your dog is, I mentioned earlier, 4th of July, any kind of a stressful time that your dog might be having, and we actually sell this spray, or you can buy lavender and mix coconut oil in it, and I just spray it on them. Bo's gonna really like this. And again, I let him smell it. You know, I always introduce it first to see if they're going to completely say, no, because dogs have a mind of their own, and he's doing great. Just a minute, 'cause I think I heard my mom. Now you can put it in your hands, or you can go ahead and put it right on their skin. A short-haired dog, it would be easier to spray, but for him, I'm going to have to just kind of just massage some of this in. And that the beautiful lavender is so calming. It's wonderful for scrapes. If they have a scrape, if they have anything, and there he goes. He's really going to like this. And lavender has, it's kind of has an antiseptic property to it, but it makes them smell pretty. And he's really liking this. If he could purr, he would.
All right. The other day you were talking about something in regard to the pads around the paws.
Okay, so the other thing that you can do, and it's great. I mean, I call it pawology at home. So it's just like reflexology for you. You know, they have points in their paws, in their back paws, just like we do on our feet, that help our liver, that help our brain, that help our entire body, our kidneys. So, but it's great for the calming effects that they have. So you would just take some, again, put it on your hand, or you can put it right on their paws, on their back paws, always on their back paws. And you just rub right in between those toes. And again, it just accepts into their body. It helps them calm down from maybe a stressful time that they're having. It's really quite awesome to watch a dog who's nervous or who's been shaking through a stressful moment, to watch them come right down. Just like my dog during 4th of July, they did just fine, but I started very early in the morning diffusing lavender in the house.
All right. Awesome. Is there anything else we need to do to Bo?
Oh, well, Bo could, no, I think Bo's probably had enough.
He's going to need an oil change by the time we get done. All right. What I do would like Everett, if you could, because we have to get back over to the computer so I can see some of the chat roll and see some of the questions. Sorry, I'm looking at the computer. See some of the chat roll, see some of the questions we have. And we have a surprise visitor who was actually watching our podcast, our live cast, and came on over and had a few questions of her own. So let's go ahead and run let's go ahead and just run the Healthy Dog Network. That way people who joined us a little bit late can see, again, what the Healthy Dog Network is all about and what our plans are for that network. And I can just repeat that 5 times and then the video will start playing. But I'm let's see. You got to know a joke. Somebody's got to know something. I got to prepare a lot more jokes because I forget about this delay that we have. Yeah. Great.
I do have one. What's invisible and smells like farts? Oh, no, wait, I messed it up.
Well, that was good enough.
What's invisible?
There's a way to track sales too. That there's a whole other system, but it's. Oh, we're back on. Get back here, Sally. And I'm sorry, what was your name again? Janice, come up here. Come on, Janice, come right over here. Oh, you can't come on with your bit. Come on. Come on. That's good. So you, Janice, welcome. And you're from where?
Huntington Beach.
Oh, really? Nice. And you came in the middle of our live webcast, and you actually told me that you wanted to know more about the oils in regard to your dog.
That's correct.
What's
I
going
was
on?
actually listening to you as I drove from Claremont to Huntington Beach because I didn't have it. I couldn't get in front of a computer. So my dog's itching a lot. It's a Poodle Bichon mix. It's less than 15 pounds. No ticks, no fleas, no nothing. He's just itching a lot. I put lavender on him, and I don't know what he's after. I don't know if it's boredom or what, but I have not applied it to his paws. That could be a problem. So I'm going to try Sally's suggestion of the paws, and then I'll bring it down to maybe 1 drop because of the pound difference.
That's right. And yeah, just make sure that you add the fractionated coconut oil to it. Always dilute it, and that also has antiseptic properties in it.
Now that brings up a good point, because we had this gigantic dog, and she has a not so gigantic dog. Is there a difference in the amount that you apply based on the weight of a dog or the size of a dog?
Well, I always just do what they'll tolerate. So I'll do 1, 2, 3. When you start getting to 4, Bo's about a 3. Lots of fractionated coconut oil with him. But you have to remember how their sniffer is. You know, it's so much more potent than ours.
So tolerate in what fashion? How can you tell that they're reaching their lack of
They
tolerance?
just don't want it anymore. They will turn their head. They'll get up and walk away from you. As you notice, Bo just kind of sat there. So he was tolerating it very well. And I use it on my own children, is why I know I can use it on the dogs.
All right. Awesome. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on camera. I know you ladies. Everybody has to go get their hair done before they come out on camera. All kinds of stuff has to happen. And so we had the large dog and small dog question. We had the ear infection. Are we missing something? Mike is still crackling. I am so sorry about the mic. I really don't know what's happening with our mic. It's probably a refresh issue with the internet. My dog loves coconut oil, so since dogs shouldn't take essential oils internally, should I be worried if she starts licking?
No, not at all, because the properties are going in, they're cellular, and dogs are going to lick. It's just if you're using essential oils every single day, just know you probably should do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, just to play it safe, give their bodies a rest, just in case something will build up. You don't want any build up or anything. And a dog can't tell you again that they're not feeling well. So you just want to play it safe always. And if you're uncomfortable, the next time you go to the vet, just ask the vet and talk to the vet.
Can you believe we've been on an hour?
I cannot believe it.
So we've been on an hour, and I know we still have a few more questions. So let me get to a couple more questions. Cliff asked, how much coconut oil do you use to dilute the oils in whatever?
I'm 1-to-1. I'll use 1 drop of lavender and then 1 drop of coconut oil. And then again, introduce it to the dog. And if the dog seems to be okay, that's what I apply. But if they're kind of shying away or backing off a little bit, I'll add a little bit more coconut oil. I do remember hearing someone say there were some oils to avoid. Any oils that you put on yourself that are a hot oil, you never want to put those on your dog. Because again, they can't put out their arm and say, put some more coconut oil, that's a little bit warm. So I just want to make sure that I get that out there, because oregano can be a very hot oil. Citrus, believe it or not, is good for insect deterrent, but it also will make your dog sensitive to light. So you want to be you don't use citrus oils. That's just me playing it safe. That's my experience. I think eucalyptus is absolutely wonderful for any kind of insect deterrent. So when you're walking in the park, stand under a eucalyptus tree. That always seems to work really well. Also, you can add, I mean, you can use this on horses. Shemaine uses it on horses. The lavender, a deterrent for cats. We haven't really touched on cats, I think, because not all of us have cats here in this room, maybe one person. But you know how they scratch your furniture? Oh, that's so irritating. So if you were to take, and we're going to put this recipe up on, because I just found it up on our pet corner, but you can use eucalyptus, lemon, some Castle soap, any white detergent with a little bit of distilled water, and spray it on the area that they're scratching, and it will deter them from that.
All right, awesome. Just to make sure that we answer this question effectively, it's a simple one. Michelle asks, are the same essential oils we use for ourselves, to humans, safe to use on dogs?
Most of them, again, you want to be smart. Any of the hot oils you don't want to use, the citrus oils you don't want to use. But I kind of have my top 4 or 5 here, and it's lemongrass, peppermint, lavender, and frankincense. Frankincense is wonderful for growth, as Andy was talking about earlier, how when you were massaging your dog and you're getting to kind of have a relationship with them when you're applying oils, you make that connection. If you find a tumor, again, have it checked out by a vet, but if it's not something that needs to be removed, and it kind of is a something you just don't want on there, you can try frankincense. Put frankincense on there with a little bit of coconut oil and rub it on there. I used that on my dog, and I had great results.
Great. Frankincense has to be good because it was in the Bible.
That's right. You're right. It is a good one. It's great for cancers with people. You can use it on the lymph nodes of a dog. You know, there's the points here and here in their hips. And so you can kind of rub it, again, dilute.
Wow, awesome. We have a few other things on there, but I think we've basically covered them all in our discussion. And we really appreciate everybody's participation in the chat roll. We had some polls that were running that I can't get right now. I would kind of give you a feedback on the polls, but what I want you guys to do is to make sure if you missed any of the recipes to go ahead and watch the replay. You can also send the link that you will get after this webinar and send that link to your friends and family that you think may be interested in what it is we had to talk about. So you can just go ahead and send that out. That replay will be available for as long as we keep it available, forever. So in most cases, I make it 48 hours, but this particular replay will be available for a long, long time. So make sure and send that out and let people that you know and you care about watch this webinar. Is there anything that we missed that we may have to make sure and tell them before we let them go?
No, I think that if you have any questions, you can contact Andy or you can contact us, and we'll be happy to get you any information. Again, we're going to start our pet corner because I think canine aromatherapy is so important that we'll have a lot of questions maybe answered for you on there, and also some great recipes for you to make.
A couple things that I've learned by putting this webinar together is that, number one, is that we're going to have to make sure and have a makeup artist that comes and takes the sweat off of our face because we are in Huntington Beach, California, which you don't need air conditioners at Huntington Beach. But for some reason today, it's hotter than heck. And it may be the light that we have going on over there. Also, make sure and look in the chat roll. We do have the website addresses for FalcoCanineAcademy.com, which is fairly simple. And we have there. Go ahead and give yours out. Just make sure that if there's somebody that doesn't have the chat roll, give your address out. Sorry, Shemaine. Yeah, you can come back to it.
Hi, our address is 5075 Warner Avenue, Suite 203. Did I say 5075? Sometimes I give out my own address. Oops. Yeah, Huntington Beach, California. You can also email. Our website is soul2skinrejuvenation.com, or you can go ahead and email us at soul2skinoils@aol.com.
All right. And also, and Everett, I completely forgot about, I have a couple just freebies for you. One is training your dog with love and respect. It's just a little 3-page handout. And the top 15 mistakes we make when training our dog or living with our dog. So I may be a little bit late. We'll keep this running so that you can get those, or PDFs. A button will come on. You just click on it and it downloads to your computer. And those are free, just some things for you to take home and just try not to make those same 15 mistakes, and understand that training with love and respect is key to everything. Love and respect is important in marriage. It's important in regard to a boss and an employee, and friendship. You have to have a proper balance of love and respect. It makes sense that it's the same thing with your dog. All right, so make sure and read that handout. How you doing, Shemaine? You're not as sweaty as Sally.
I've been chilling over there. So, but I want to thank you, Andy, for coming here and giving us this opportunity. It's been wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. What I think we should do, Everett, is run just the one video that we keep ending before it ends. There may be one person that wants to see how that video ends with me on the ground getting eaten up by that dog. So go ahead and run the Falco Canine Academy video. And again, do me a favor and make those things that I said, those handouts available. And I want to thank you too, Everett O'Keefe, the legend, my friend, who asked if he could go ahead and take care of the back stuff, the stuff that happens behind the stage, and that is clicking all the websites and putting them up there for you, and making sure that we have our transitions that go to the videos in a timely manner. So thank you, Everett. I really, really appreciate your time today in doing that for us. And that's it. Wow, that was fun. I can't wait until we get really good at these things and we don't have crackling mics and all that other kind of stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's open that